Darren says, how would you explain to Webmaster who is not an SEO that a full text RSS post will not be classified as duplicate content? I heard you say that you get the client to tell the Webmaster to do it, to just do it because some Webmasters are apprehensive about doing it. How would you explain this to a client? Thanks. Well, I would explain it to the client just like I said before. When somebody takes a piece of content that they've written for, this is 100% normal and natural for people to write content, post a blog or a blog post or whatever, and then go copy the URL and share it across all their social media channels, right? I mean, that's just normal for people to do that. They go share it in Facebook and Google Plus if they use Google Plus and LinkedIn, and they tweet the link and all that. Well, what is the difference between somebody doing that and what we're doing using IFTTT to automate it? You know what I mean? And so, to be honest with you, I tell the client when he catches resistance, when a client comes to me and says that their webmaster told them that can cause SEO issues, I tell them, hey, did you hire your webmaster to do SEO, or did you hire your webmaster to build you a website? And what the hell did you hire me for? Because I thought you hired me as an SEO consultant. So it's either you want to listen to your webmaster about SEO stuff, or you want to listen to me. And literally, I stopped pissing around with clients about stuff like that, because they come to me, they pay me as the SEO expert. So I'm not going to argue with them or their webmasters about what the best SEO practices are, because if their webmaster was such a damn good SEO, what the hell did they hire me for to begin with? Does that make sense? Like, I get quite annoyed when people, that's like having I know you guys probably have clients, and this is why I always, complain about clients. Because when you get a client that thinks they know about SEO, or they go read something on Search Engine Journal and then send you a 4-paragraph email about what they just learned on Search Engine Journal and why we're not doing that, like, that's when I want to basically fire him and say, you know what, then just go hire the writer of that blog post from Search Engine Journal to do your SEO, because I'm certainly not capable of doing it. You know what I mean? And just because it drives me nuts. So personally, I would tell them, I would say that. I would say, look, we're sharing your content in an automated fashion to extensions of your brand. There is no duplicate content issue, because all you're doing is republishing your own content to your own branded web properties. There is nothing wrong with that. It's encouraged, in fact, to do that. So if your webmaster is going to give you a hard time about it, then why don't you ask your webmaster to do all the SEO work for you? And that's seriously how I would do it.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have that experience or self-confidence to stand up to a client like that.
Okay.
So another great way to explain this is just ask the client a question. How does content go viral? Content goes viral when it gets shared across the web. If there were a duplicate content penalty, then anywhere that content was shared would be penalized, and as would the source site for having all that. But that usually carries proper attribution, just like IFTTT does. As long as you have proper attribution, then you have no worries. That's if you can't stand up to your client and say, that's not what you hired me for.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you don't certainly come out of the gate swinging like that, but quickly, I know from experience with clients, and with pain in the ass clients, or with pain in the ass webmasters. Sometimes it's not even the client that's a pain in the ass; it's the webmaster. In fact, you'll catch that. You'll see that happens a lot, and actually. But I try to be as diplomatic as possible up front. But then I reach a point where I'm like wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, that's my time is too valuable to be arguing with somebody that's a non-SEO about best SEO practices. You know what I mean? So, but what Marco said is exactly right. I mean, you could talk about that. You could talk about press releases. Press releases, they get picked up by hundreds and hundreds of syndication outlets, and republished, and those don't cause duplicate content issues. So why is it any different when we do what we do? Right? It's not. It's no different. Okay, well, hopefully that answers, Darren. Sometimes, like I said, you gotta, once you get to, and sometimes, guys, you hear about fake it until you make it. Sometimes you just need to have that air of confidence about you in order to get people to take you serious. You know what I mean? And because otherwise, and again, I know this from personal experience, guys. From in my earlier days of my business, I would let clients take advantage of me, because they would call me and ask me to do stuff, and I was always in such fear of losing them as a client, and I needed every penny that I got, that I would bend over backwards to make them happy. But what happens is, when you do that, is you set a precedence. and you give somebody an inch and they'll take a yard. You know, they'll just keep asking for extras and freebies, and they'll call you at, you know, after hours to do stuff for you. And I remember I used to answer the phone after hours. I used to reply to emails at 11 o'clock at night and things like that. I don't do that anymore. And at some point you got to get to that point, or else your clients will eat you alive, and it sucks.